good morning to you and welcome to this session where we have to look at the front page stories and also some of the stories inside. We could pick one or two to talk about. I'm Cordelia Obe and Abiodu always supporting me, working with us to make this segment a lot better than it could have ever been. And we'll also have Rufai Oseni who will be joining later on. We'll be looking at the stories we'll be taking together, and I hope that you stay with us all through. It's a beautiful day. It's a lovely day. Hardship does exist all over the world. People are complaining about hardship. It's how we really take it that could make or break. So I pray this morning you're able to take what life throws at you patiently, peacefully, and don't give up, because when there is life, there is hope. You're welcome. This is VOP 90.3 FM in the city of Lagos. Good morning once again, and don't forget we're going to be here from now till 8:30. That is what the time will be like. At about 8 we'll have somebody join us who'll be talking a lot about things we could do to make our business life a lot better. I'll share that with you later on, and I'll let you know who that our guest will be. But right now, let's move on straight and take a look at what we have for the front page. I'll be starting with the Vanguard. The major headline for the Vanguard simply says, Labour gives FG May 31 deadline on minimum wage. And they have the various riders here to conclude talks, insist on 615,000 naira wage demand, threatens total shutdown if, places 18-point demand before FG, condemns hike in electricity tariff, demands reversal within 1 week. We're working on new minimum wage, living wage, Tinubu assures, resist anti-people tendencies, PDP charges workers. I stand with workers in solidarity, Peter Obi and Akpabio assures Nigerian workers of better welfare. All this you find Vanguard. They have other stories. We have this lovely picture. We like Ashrebi here. We have the VP and leaders, union leaders in front of the Vanguard. I like the Ashrebi Shao. It's nice. We have also banks close 2 million accounts over BVN, NIN, others. Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, FG begins 275 billion naira compensation to property owners. Eagles will qualify for 2026 World Cup. This is according to Finidi, and we say amen to that. Now, SEMA President Oyo to speak at the Vanguard Economic Summit. They have that there. On insecurity, Matawali urges U.S. to share intel on terrorism banditry. Mayday, governors promise better working conditions, pay rise for workers, and with 1.5 billion liters of petrol to last 30 days. This is according to reps. Please, let's have the fuel, because it's really hard for people right now, and I don't think we can continue like this. It is a bit too much. And we have this one. Let's take a look at the Nation newspaper. From the Nation newspaper, payment of 2.75 billion to property owners on Lagos Calabar Road begins. We also have jubilation as Transportation Minister flags off Port Harcourt Aba train service, and also to mark this, they'll be having some days of free train rides. Ooh, that feels good, and I congratulate Nigeria on that one. Major headline for the Nation, federal government promises living wage as NLC demands 615,000 naira as pay. A minimum wage payment to be backdated to April. TUC issues ultimatum on electricity tariff hike. Remember, they said get rid of this within 1 week, or what we will do, feel no good. And we also have some of the other things spelled out here. Somebody had something to say, and so what? And so on. Who said what? The Nation broke some down. The president said, wage issues shall be resolved soon, and I assure you that your days of worrying are over. This government is open to not just a minimum wage, but a living wage. Then Labour says, all the parties in the tripartite process are well represented and their engagement has been robust. We have placed our demand of 615,000 naira only before our social partners while we await their offer. And we also have Oshomale, who said the NLC should make realistic and affordable demands. It should not just center on minimum wage. It must engage the government on appropriate industrial policies. I hear that what the government had proposed was between 60 to 70k, and they said no, 615 is what will be able to make life better for all of us. Now, we take a look at the Daily Times, and we have this one. An educationist is sharing with us how to check bullying in schools. You should read that up. And despite delay, new national minimum wage to take effect April 1, 2024. Okay. They're saying that from then, that's when they'll start, paying back and all that, backdating some of those payments and all that. This is by the Labor Minister. Mayday, my administration has recruited over 5,000 workers in past 7 years. This is according to Obaseki. And we also have MNJTF intensifies operation to eliminate Boko Haram ISWAP in Lake Chad. Still from the Daily Times, Tinubu to workers, your days of worrying are over. Says expect not only minimum wage but living wage. Sues for industrial peace, harmony and unity. We'll also have other stories here from the May Day celebration, where the NLC is saying bold leadership required to steer Nigeria towards recovery. FG pays 2.75 billion compensation for Lagos Calabar Coastal Road project. 2.75 billion naira for compensation for the Lagos Calabar Road project. And Daily Trust, naira devaluation biggest mess of 2023. This is according to Dangote. Cocoa now gold in Taraba as buyers overwhelm farmers. I wish we could do this too for palm oil, because palm oil is even more expensive than crude oil. That is what I've come to realize. I wish we could work hard at making that work. And we have the one on labor and all their demands and fuel scarcity. Go after saboteurs, reps tell security agencies. Also, farmers, herders sign peace pact in Southwest. Pregnant women decry high cost of Medicare baby essentials. Arrested ACP, rescued kids handed over to police in Sokoto State. Now let's take a look at the Punch newspaper, where fuel scarcity, FG plans 15-day emergency fuel supply. Government expenditure rose by 33% in February. This is according to MPC member. FG gives fresh conditions for gas license. Then we also have the one on minimum wage, the fact that there is a deadlock there. We'll move on to hear that agri imports gulp 12 trillion naira despite 9-year anchor borrower scheme. Lagos uncovers underbridge apartment where tenants pay 250,000 naira rent. You should see the video. You should see the tiny apartments and all that under the Dolphin Bridge. If you do not know it, when you're going to the island from the mainland towards Obalende, that area, that's where you find the Dolphin Bridge, and that's where this happened. Very weird, very weird. Safe School initiative to cover off-campus hostels. This is according to Commander. School mourns 14-year-old British Nigerian killed in London sword attack. It was a horrendous thing. The poor 14-year-old was on his way to school. Himself got killed. Some other people got gravely injured, policemen and so on. But the 35 or 36-year-old who carried this out is under arrest, and we are hoping to find out why he did this. FG restricts Lagos bridges, sand miners license. FG restricts Lagos bridges, sand miners license. Now the Guardian. The Guardian has this major one on still the May Day celebrations, where labor demands inflation-proof pay, frequent wage review. That is how the Guardian captures it. Minimum wage takes back seat in Kanu, Kwara as NLC marks May Day. Nice people, they sit where they see went for the march past. It's part of the day, yeah? Telco loses irregular levy remittance, threaten NCC's 549 billion targets. Telco loses. Okay, I think let me put that a little closer. All right, I see it better now. Sorry about that. Telco losses, irregular levy remittance, threaten NCC's 549 billion target. We also have PDP chides Ayedetiwa for budgeting 5 billion naira to renovate daycare centers. Well, a statement has come out in regards to this, and they said no, it was the printer that made a mistake. In the process of getting this ready to be printed and published, they made a mistake. Somehow we didn't see it. It's not 5 billion. No, that was a mistake. That money is meant for this, that, and they gave a breakdown. If you go into the papers, you'll find that. Workers wary as FG assures on May 1 date for new minimum wage, and also Super Eagles, how to support indigenous coaches to grow win laurels. Duty exchange rate fueling uncertainty adjusted 28 times in 2024 Q1, says CPP. PDP rallies aggrieved members, targets 2027 presidency. All right. And 10 years after the shame of Chibok, lingers on government. That's one. You can find all those from the Guardian newspaper, and a little on the one I took before we joined Rufai. The fuel scarcity continues to bite harder as that happens. The government also disclosed that it has begun a 15-day emergency fuel supply to ensure the commodity circulates across the length and breadth of the country, while the major Energy Marketers Association of Nigeria had in a statement on Tuesday said its members in Apapa and other locations in Lagos had been receiving 300 million liters of fuel from 8 vessels this week. And I think that is good news. Then Daily Post has this one on the landmark thing, says that Umahi has said that infrastructures belonging to landmark were spared, hence the owners can't make claims on the federal government. While addressing journalists, he said no claim for landmark. We spared all its infrastructure. We don't pay for the demolition of shanties because it's on the right of way, 15 meters from the shoreline, so he has no claim. That is what he said. And he went on to say, while he does all the politics, I'm an engineer, I'll do the engineering work. I don't know the attention he is seeking. That is him talking about landmark there. Rufai is already on the line. Rufai Fire, good morning. How are you?
So let me debunk a lot of things Mr. Umahi said. Number one, he doesn't have
greet me
right
first now. You never greet me. What's
yeah, morning now. Not verse. Morning. See, as it is hot.
As it is pepper. All right, go ahead.
As it is pepper. Because see, he came on TV yesterday and there were many things that he spewed that were not the exact thing. If Landmark have no element of claim, why are you adding Landmark's name to the conversation? Secondly, it is not you that will say Landmark have no element of claim. Landmark will prepare their own documents and show you how they did purchase that place. So a minister coming out to do all of what he did yesterday was really sad and against the law. My colleague Leila Johnson Salami, fabulous, great woman, asked him a question on the environmental impact assessment. He tried to say, no, I not speak for and all of that. He knew what he was doing. He was deflecting. That question Leila gave him is what they call TKO.
Technical knockout.
See, on the 20th of April, that was when they did the scoping for the environmental impact assessment. You are supposed to complete your environmental impact assessment before you start the project. So, if they are just doing scoping, an environmental impact assessment is about 10 steps, which also involves announcements in newspapers that people that have reviews and things like that against this, they should bring their stuff up for review, where an independent assessment will see it before they issue it. But you are just doing scoping, which is the third phase of environmental impact assessment, on the 20th of April. Then when they ask you, do you have the document? Where is it? If you had the document, you should have put it out. And we also challenge him to put out the environmental impact assessment document And we also asked him, did he go through the proper review? And going ahead to attack Peter Obi, it is out of the question. I faulted Peter Obi on air too for saying that when he was in Anambra, he was going to destroy a property without compensation. But what Peter Obi is saying is true about this project. There are many other projects. Now look at the East-West roads. Those are projects that need attention. Then you are doing a project for 47 kilometers with 1 trillion naira. Then you attacked everybody. Then another thing, you started paying compensation when the due process of EIA was not properly followed. Where were the reviews? Where were the consultants used? These are all the things you need to state in an EIA process in accordance with the EIA Act of 1992. There are 3 categories of EIA, which involve land reclamation, also, infrastructure. So these 2 falls into category 1, category A, category B, category 1, category 2, category 3. This falls into category 1. And for category 1, you have to have review and you need a full EIA report. Where is the EIA documentation on the aquatic life in that river? I'm feeling water now. You are going to some filling a pitch. So where are all the EIA reports? And when they asked the question, all he just said is, we have all the approval. It's government. I don't understand English. It was a deflective mechanism.
Rufai, you see this EIA thing that you referred to. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
This thing you referred to now reminds me of the fact that coastline can be very challenging. You know how much they tried to hold the bar beach. The bar beach kept refusing and coming, and it destroyed a lot of things before we got to this point. What have they put in place? What they've not told us.
Coastline still deal with issue of gusty winds and things like that. So that's why when the environmental impact assessment, which has to be done by reputable bodies. So who are the consultants? But there's and that's why I published the statement this morning. Scoping was just done. They were calling for scoping. And let me read the document to you. Federal Ministry of Works, Office of the Federal Controller, blah, blah, blah. Go to the Lekki Peninsula. Invitation letter for scoping workshop for the ESIE and RAP studies of all of that. So it was signed by engineer Mrs. O.I. Kenem. If you are doing scoping on the 20th, as at the time they were doing scoping, which is a couple of 1 or 2 weeks ago, they had already marked places they were going to demolish a landmark. And when you go and check the EIA Act of 1992, scoping is just level 3 or level 4. Except they wouldn't go and complete EIA. The processes have not been, because it states that at some point you have a 15 working day timeline, a 21 working day timeline, and all of that. In fact, it's just that because we don't have the time, I will have taken you through these precept by precept steps of EIA. And please, for further reading this morning, go and read Environmental Impact Assessment Act of 1992, how EIA is done. Because duly, if this project had started and they have done over a kilometer already, the EIA should have been, all this fight about EIA should have been concluded last year. As at the end of, even at the start of last year, before the elections, people should have known that this was going to be for their property and they start preparing. Then the next thing, we put military in, we did this. I'm even hearing all sorts of allegations flying around, but I don't have video evidence, so I'm not going to say those allegations. I don't have video evidence.
What's the hurry? What's the hurry? What's the desperation to have this done?
My sister got concerning labor. You see me, I will tell you the truth the way it is. So me, this I will support the. Can you hear me?
Okay, now it's better. Go ahead.
On this, I will support the federal government into labor is not very realistic for minimum wage of 715,000. Let's not deceive ourselves. They will cause chaos in this country. And please, I want cool heads to prevail. The government should expect that action on the tripartite committee so that we know where they are going with minimum wage. But that 615,000 will not work for minimum wage. You are going to plunge this country into untold inflation. Sorry, see me, I'm not to deceive people. I support labor on anything, but when you weigh empirical facts and you know the truth, say it. See, I am not doing this media job to be popular. I'm doing this media job for posterity so that it will be on record. I spoke the truth. We know the economic situation. The government first does not have revenue to pay 615,000 as minimum wage. And minimum means the least wage possible. That means you are saying a gatekeeper will be earning 615,000. Where is the private sector going to be able to pay that money from?
From the time you're get into level 8, level 9, it gets more and more. And by the time you pay that amount, the market woman will increase. The people who are not working
Are you saying the director will be collecting like 3 million per month? So in the end of the year, the director will collect like 48 million naira per month minimum wage.
For some of those ministries that they don't even, okay, let's not be cruel here. I've been to some of these ministries and so on. They actually look like ghost lands. You hardly see people at work, and and one is wondering, what are they doing?
So what's the revenue stretch for the country? Okay, speaking of revenue, do you know that there are indication from ship reports, although it's not an official record out yet, there are indication from ship reports. Last month our production was 1.2 million barrels. It has dropped to 1.2 million without condensate.
Yeah.
There are indications now that when April numbers will come out, our oil production will have dropped further, less than our OPEC quota. So we're not even making revenue from program. We're not meeting our targets.
But do you think the 60, 70, between 60 and 70,000 naira that the government is offering, is that fair?
Mark. No, government is not offering between 60 and 70,000 naira mark. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, that was what I saw. That is what they were suggesting. They had that committee. Let me see it now. While you carry on, let me check it. While you carry on, let me check for it. Carry on.
The tripartite committee has not come out with anything until they come out with a resolution based on their.
Hello?
I mean, a fair value to 200,000 naira, which is a fair mark of about $100.
Yeah.
If you are going to bench against the dollar, I think that's a fair value because attendance inflation is something we should look at. And you see, we have done this before. Okay, if you remember the Jerome Udoji question.
Yeah, I got it. That the government and private sector were proposing between 60 and 70, and this resulted in a stalemate in their negotiations because Labour insisted on their 615,000.
Okay, government. They were proposing
that's what the private and government sectors, they were all part of that meeting. That's what they were proposing. But Labour, they're saying, nope, we're standing by 615,000.
I think the fair value some economists said using 100,000 to 200,000 threshold. We should also know that will bring attendance inflation. But 615,000 is not going to work. I don't know what they're going to arrive at, but 615,000 is not going to work. We have done this. Most of the inflation that ate us up in the 70s. In fact, there we had the money in the 70s. You remember we had the money so much that Gowan was saying the problem is not money, but how to spend it. And they set up the Jerome Udoji Commission then, and they paid Udoji the award. We saw the attendance inflation as 97, 78, 79. Inflation had peaked to about 34 to 40%. And the 80s became so disastrous for us. And it was not all of those events that culminated into the early 80s. There was crude oil slump in price, and we now had the debacle that we now started blaming Ghanaians for the problem. Then Shagari said, well, Ghana must go and all of that. Yeah. And pushed the Ghanaians out and everything. But not knowing that was when we started to have our problems. So there were many attendant problems, and also with massive corruption, or the case of the Cement Armada, First Tax 77 and all of that, because then we did a lot of things because we had the money. But now we have the money, so let's be careful. Anything they're going to bring on should be reasonable, but not 615,000, with due respect. So Labour shouting fire and brimstone that at the end of May, if they're not paying 615,000 or not, they will go on strike. And if they go on strike, I will be the first person to be against them. I'm not going to lie to you. That's the way it is. Because for me, there's no basis for empirical calculation in their argument of 615,000 of minimum wage. There is no. Where even the ordinary 30,000, most companies can't pay the 30,000 in the first place. Most private sector can't pay the 30,000. So, and that's to show you how depressed the economy is.
There was a
I'm not
state
going to
that
support
added
them.
just 10K to the salaries, and people were actually lambasting the governor. But I said, that's what we can do. Extra 10K. Some people said okay, some said no, you know.
Yes, and I understand, things, because see, I know some governors who don't try, because you are saying you can't pay this minimum wage, and we see how you are stealing money and all of that. But also, some people don't just have the resource. I mean, many idea apart from Lagos and all of that, and that's why I say you can call whatever Obasa he did political and everything, some people have started it, but I give him kudos, because it's not easy what he decided to do, and he decided to take it on. So
okay, before okay, what do you think about this Binance thingy, where in the US the founder CEO former has been sentenced to some months imprisonment, and that he violated some of their money laundering and so on rules? They now call him one of the youngest, richest person in prison, because he's estimated at $43 billion. Anti-money laundering and sanctions laws, they said he broke some of them, talking about Champagne Zhao, aka CZ, and they said you were just busy looking for the best way to attract users, build your company and line your pocket, so you didn't care about these things. Comparing what the US did versus the one we're doing in Nigeria, and people are saying why? What do you think?
no, the Nigeria case is different. If you go and check the exit papers from the US case, this is a long-term investigation and they have empirical proof. We arrested them first, we now shop for these things, and we're not taking them through a court process. I think the two cases are different.
But the US got everything they needed to have before they moved on.
That's justice. So if I say, if Nigeria has a case against Binance, check your case properly so that you don't go to court and make mockery of the system again. And that's something that has against ES. That's why you see that they go to court and they make mockery of them in the courts. So that's about that. So we should be careful how fairness the other day. All right. Yeah, bless you so much. I really
never run. You see the 250,000 naira they are making people pay for the houses under the bridge that they just found. You saw that story, right?
You see, that's a reflection of the housing situation in Nigeria and the big problem on that bridge. Don't turn them into a house. So when this government keeps saying we build housing, where are they housing? Let's make affordable housing easy. And I think to a large extent, government should not just look at the story like that. It should lead them to now thinking of better housing solutions, like prefab houses. How can we couple prefab houses together? See, Nigeria problems are Nigeria opportunity. And I think we need to start to think that way, that all the problems we talk about are also opportunities. We have a big housing crisis. Can we bring in prefab? Can we bring in motorized homes in such a way that people can couple their houses, put it together in a certain way? Government can allocate land for them on this area, still keep up the environmental implication. Most of the empty homes, government can revamp them and turn them into blocks of flats and things like that.
Yeah, I keep wondering about the former secretariat in Ikoyi. Why can't that problem be resolved?
But you gist now. You know that
I know.
But you know the powers that be in Lagos. Not just one phone call. So there's been a lot of discrepancy and all of that.
Wasting. We like
and you see, that's why interest is the problem of this country. Some people, they would rather allow the property waste because of their own personal interest. But Malaki had started a very good job on that project. Started partitioning it to be small flats for real estate. But the people that be then and the states then stopped it. They were interest abound. And we can't grow if one man's interest is more than the nation's interest. So we should also that's why we should also be careful about voting in greedy leaders. God bless you, sister.
God bless you. Have a beautiful day, Rufai. Have a beautiful day. Yeah, bye. This thing actually hurts. Those people pay that much money to live in those places because they are looking for a better life and so on. And I think just as the government is, taking steps to maybe persecute this and that, whoever is the authority, when I say authority, security operatives in that area should also be questioned, because they usually parade or go through those underbridge this and underbridge that. You will not tell me that you did not see these things, these accommodations in quotes, springing up to the point that people are paying 250,000 naira for, is it 10 by 10 or 80 by 80, 8 by 8, 10 by 10. They've paid that much, and the people there are over 80 something tenants. Where were you when it started? That is my major problem with us as a people. We watch things start. We watch potholes start from pinholes until they become gullies, because maybe when it becomes a gully, the money to repair it will be more. We never save things or stop things when they just start. We never do a stitch in time saves 9. We'd rather do it when it's 9. It's sad, and I feel bad for those people. Oh well, c'est la vie, no? That is life. We'll take a quick breather. Right after that, we'll be taking your messages and your calls. You're listening to Front Page Review on VOP 90.3 FM, and at 8 o'clock we'll be having our guest join us. I'll tell you a little more about him right after this.
Have you been thirsty for well-nourished, yummy pizza and couldn't find one yet? What you ordered versus what you get, right? I understand. Let me introduce you to the premium pizza and ice cream in town, all the way from the US. Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry Ice Cream. So sweet, so yummy. Visit the new Romeo's Pizza outlet, 22 Latif Salami Street, Ajao Estate, by the Lagos International Airport Road. For more inquiries, call 0816-320-9783 or 0816-321-0945. Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry Ice Cream. The light in every school.
Worried about getting competent hands to fix your vehicles? Worry no more, because Ultimate Auto Center has got you covered. Get an ultimate care for your cars. At Ultimate Auto Center, they specialize in taking care of your vehicles to ensure safety. Take your faulty vehicles to Ultimate Auto Center at Ikeja for car alignment and balancing, spray booth, car wash, servicing, electrical and sales. Ultimate Auto Center is now close to you. Kilometer 19, Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, opposite the new pedestrian bridge, just beside Ajayi Farm, Ikeja, Lagos. Or call us on 0805-521-0629 or 0808-316-5658. You can also send an email to admin@ultimateauto.com. Visit the website www.ultimateauto.com. Ultimate Auto Center, the ultimate for reliable and trusted hands in auto.
VOP 90.3 FM, Voice of the People. That's what you're listening to from Lagos. Wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the diaspora watching us. And you can watch on YouTube is at VOP 90.93 FM. That is VOP 903 FM. And our guest for 8 a.m. today is Dr. Lutana Okoye. He's a business analyst and a business coach. He will be joining me at 8 and we'll be looking at some things. I'll also share those with you. The number you'll be calling is 0700 903 903 903. The number for WhatsApp is 0817 175 6338. You could call and also send your message. Some quick ground rules. Please, when you call, you go straight to the point and your points should be backed by fact. When the allegations become wild, I think we will discontinue. If we let you know and you insist, we will discontinue. You talk about the topic you've chosen to talk about and not about. people or your fellow colors. All right, we'll be moving on right now, and I will be starting from WhatsApp. I already have your messages here. Good morning to you too. This is the Benjamin from Shogunle. You talked about people being hungry and all that, and well, this came before the program. That means the focus is none of the things I talked about, but you had your complaints about Nigeria. From Adeyemi Kumoru from Satellite Town, you say it's sad for some people to say the demolition to make way for project is targeted at them. Are they saying others outside their ethnic group who are affected are not important or are subhuman? Well, Kumaru, you should take note that a lot of the people on that axis are not from the same ethnic tribe or ethnic group. They are speaking for people who are on that path generally. Yeah, maybe you should read it up more. Good morning. Coastal Road Projects. Peter Obi inciting Igbos against Tinubu's government. That is what David Umahi and Ohaneze Ndigbo. David Umahi said, and Ohaneze Ndigbo should call David Umahi to order, because Peter Obi is not only Nigerian that has been criticizing the project. Leo from Lagos. Good morning to you too. Wow, this is long. Okay. Let me take a call first, and I'll go back to the messages. Good morning. How are you? No, rule number 1: turn down the volume on your radio set before calling. Good morning. Morning. How are you?
Fine.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. This government is complaining about people that have built a container house under the bridge. There are a lot of things that are happening in this Lagos. Government not doing anything concerning it. People also build bridge to cross canal. After they do concrete bridge to cross canal, and they throw it individuals. So they throw it forever. Children will pay 100 naira to go to school, pass it and go to school. They pay 100 naira to come back. It is happening in this Lagos. The Lagos state government is not doing anything. It's only in this Lagos I see something like this. Concerning what Dave Umahi said, Dave Umahi should tell us the actual figure of the other coastal road from Lagos to Calabar. He said that 4 billion per kilometer and 700 kilometers. 4 billion times 700 is 2.8 billion. 2.8 trillion. Now he's telling us like 15 trillion. We want to know. And all these people, all these businesses, they will destroy. They will destroy markets, destroy school, destroy industries. So many things will be destroyed. Destroy farmland.
Okay.
And at the end, they are saying compensation. But we are giving people compensation now. What we need solve? We have to relocate them.
Okay, hold on. Don't go. I want to take you back. Are you saying that building those houses illegally or whatever under the bridges, are you saying that is right? That is good? Because somebody did.
The houses I'm talking about, the houses are bad. I'm saying that there are also another evil that is happening.
Okay, I understand you now.
Construct bridge and deploy it.
I understand you now. That's part was
I'm talking
lost.
about. All the properties that Umahi destroyed. Government should build another one.
All right, I get you now.
Market, they destroy school.
Okay.
God bless you.
All right, God bless you. Thank you. You know, some part of what you said was lost, and I needed to be sure it's not what I thought I heard you were saying. All right, so I take yours. His Royal Highness BC Walcall, you said with the hardship in the country now, the overpraised salary increase of workers looks like a total mockery because it cannot cushion any effect. It's unfortunate that the labor leaders are too handicapped and do not stand by their decisions. It's totally unfair that Nigerian workers are working like elephants but are eating like ants. It is even worse in Imo State, where workers over there are going home with whatever that pleases the governor, abandoning salary structure. This is totally unfair and unacceptable. And for the Aba PH train, it's a welcome development and I urge them to sustain it. Good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right, your name?
I'm calling from the Solo Kingdom.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's true.
Never know the foot of the king in the sand. Now, what I'm saying is this. If the federal government, who are now paying compensation because of the postal route, were they not government agency when these people were building
those structure and all those things that should have stopped them right from that time. After so many people have wasted their money, wasted their time, investing in not only for the federal government or the government agency to come out and now destroy the whole thing. I am not saying to build structure in illegal road or any place that is not being permitted. I don't agree with it. But what I'm saying is that when these people started the government agency that we are supposed to do the right thing, after so many things, you know how many labor, how many people have been thrown out of job because of what the government wants. Their idea or whatever could be a good one. But why now? That people are hungry, people are looking for so many things. They say there are other roads everywhere that's supposed to put that money to it. But why this one now? And you now let people be stranded and all that kind of situation. As for the labor, we know that labor are only fighting for themselves. How can they say the federal government should pay 615,000 naira as a minimum wage? Where would the government get that kind of situation? Some states are not even able to pay this 30,000 naira,
and you're saying 615,000 naira. All right, it went off there, but I got your point. Thank you very much. Good morning to you too. You say it's a beautiful Thursday morning and empty promises by Mr. President. Grab and run. Okay, Prince Ayotek. Write what I can read. Thank you. You said he will give all Nigerians lifetime wages. Where did you see that? We're talking about living wages, the negotiations with labor. Okay, all right. I'll move on to the next. Ayo, please next time write something that will be good to read out on the air. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Cordelia.
How are you?
Fine, this is Port Harcourt boy calling from Igbo.
All right, welcome, go ahead.
This is about all this demolition. My question is, where was the government when they were building when they started the foundation? Where were they when they started all this project? People will put in their money, put in their hard money they have been working for more, let me say 10 years or above, just to raise a structure. At the end of the day, the government will come and destroy it. Now, let me say this. In my area here, if you come to, as if you are going to Yanoba from Lasu, the Lasu University, there's a space in between, as in, before, as if you want to go inside the post service, there's a space, just a little space from the roadside to the post service. If you go there now, you see the banner that they are selling that space. And we all know that tomorrow now, the government will come. That road, I think, is a federal road. The government will come to demolish all those things. But they are ongoing, they are selling it now, collecting money from people. Even almost how many million per square meter?
Hold on. Has anybody from that area written a letter to complain that this is what is going on? Sometimes citizens can also speak up. Has anybody spoken up in that area?
I've not heard anybody.
Can you speak up?
I've not heard anybody.
Can you speak up? Can you write a letter and let them know what's going on and ask them if this is okay? You can write to the office of the governor, or you could write the office, bring it here, bring it to Voice of the People, and we will move it to the necessary office. We will let them know that this is what was sent to us. What can you do about this? A stitch will say in time is better than 9. All right? Can we strike that deal, Port Harcourt boy? Please do that. Bring it to Voice of the People. Ask to see the general manager. Give him that letter. You can do it without putting your name or whatever, but make sure your facts are correct. The location is well stated out, and we'll pursue it. We'll take it there and we'll see what can come out of it. All right, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, turn down the volume on your radio set.
No, the volume has gone. Cordelia, you know what happens? Sometimes when you are trying the line, you will not know when the line is picked, and then the radio was already on.
Okay, I
so
understand.
we have to just in seconds, we turn off the radio. So I've done that. My name is Peter Umonse from Shomolu.
Welcome.
Yeah, so, Cordelia, what Umahi is saying against Peter Obi, to me, Umahi needs to apologize to the whole Nigerians, because not only Peter Obi hold that view. I'm one of those who hold the view that this project is not a priority for now. Okay, look at the housing deficit we are talking about. You have dislodged a lot of people, and you have just talked about 250,000 under the bridge. If the government had done their statutory responsibility by providing accommodation, which is our own basic human right. Give people where to live, give people food, and tell the people. If the government has done that, then people would not have been complaining. Okay, now, can you buy an apple I used to buy for 15 naira for now 300 naira because those who used to cultivate apples are no longer going to the farm? Can you buy 30 grains of groundnut for 100 naira? Because those people who used to cultivate groundnut are now in Lagos pulling wheelbarrow. Why is the government not investing in farming if you know that the northern part of the country is so volatile now because of banditry that they are allowed to fester in Nigeria? Why can't you focus on the south, southeast, and southwest and then pump that money into agriculture in this side so that we can raise food? People want to eat and people want to move around.
Mr.
Not
Peter,
coastal road.
Mr. Peter, let me take you back to something. You said something about the shanties that were destroyed too, and the fact that because people do not have accommodation and all that. I'm sure those shanties would have been pulled down not once, not twice, because it's usual. Now, these people know that for the shanties, they are illegally there. We're not talking about somebody who has papers. For people with those shanties, should they complain because they already know that where they are there illegally? Should they be complaining? If they don't find a place to stay in Lagos, should they go back to their home states? 30 seconds,
now,
respond,
in the first
please.
place, can I respond?
30 seconds, go ahead.
All right. Now, in the first place, a mother does not give his child food, and the child goes to steal. Yes, stealing is bad, but the mother will take the blame. In the first place, before these people come out to Lagos, was it that okay for them in their place? What infrastructure has the government provided in their place for them to stay? Up till now, we have been talking about developing other ports in other parts of the country so that people will disengage a bit from Lagos, and the government has not done that. You have not given them electricity. In my village, they use generator, they use lantern. So if those areas they came from was good, and the government had been serious and not stealing the money, using the money for the people, they would not have come here.
Okay.
These low-cost housing estates and move the.
Oh, okay, that went off. But these states also have their governors. What are their governors also doing? I think we should ask our governors questions too. Good morning to you, Frank Imoebe from Alimosho. You're saying, I took my time to watch this current government and leadership with keen interest and concluded finally that it's clear. Let's see the topic you're talking about. You said from the president's made a speech, what exactly will you pinpoint that is worth relying on? Nigerians are already in one chance dangerous flight big time. We should all be praying for safe landing with the way the country is going now. It's sad indeed. Okay, Frank, we're praying, and we should also work to make sure that the prayers are not in vain, because that would be very bad. Wilfred from Surulere. Okay, you've picked that already. Good morning. Okay, while you're turning down the volume on your radio set, I'm going to be reading this one from Wilfred. The federal government increased minimum wage by... Okay, you're there. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mother Condilia.
You have to turn down the volume on your radio set. The operator is going to cut it anytime if you don't turn down the volume.
No, my radio is off.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Uncle Tony. I'm calling you from Songo.
Welcome, Uncle Tony. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to say something concerning the minimum wage and the labor union. Auntie Condilia, I want to disagree with what people saying that labor has put it the minimum wage for 600 something, because
650.
The federal government will still negotiate, because it's a collective negotiation and bargaining. The labor know that the federal government will still negotiate that, so that's why they are there. Even if they say 1 million, federal government will not pay. They will not pay. They will negotiate. So that's why, last time when they paid 30,000, labor was saying pay 75 or 90, and they ended up paying 30,000 naira.
Uncle Tony, they rejected the negotiations now. They've been negotiating before now, and they said no, 615 or nothing.
No, the negotiation must still take place. Okay. So what they are saying, even with this present economy, anything less than 200,000, is it anything to write home about? Even 200,000 with this kind of inflation economy, is it anything to write about for the worker? So that's why Labour is saying that they should pay Even if they come to 200,000, neighbor can still have something to go home with. So
right. Thank you very much, Uncle Tony. Lotana Okoye is going to be our guest later on at 8 a.m. And one of the things we'll be looking at will be how all these wages we are talking about, how governments changing wage policies, how they impact businesses and the growth of businesses generally in Nigeria. And Lotana is a successful human capital consultant who has led many individuals and organizations into a lifestyle of leadership development and attitudinal transformation. He's going to be looking at this thing we've been talking about on our big story with us later today. That will be at 8 a.m. Wilfred from Surulere, you say the federal government increased minimum wage by 25%, and we're talking about it. The dealers in government, how much is their salary, allowances, and so on? These people have successfully marginalized, hypnotized, gaslighted, made Nigerians gullible and docile. As far as I'm concerned, that increment is rubbish, gibberish, and peanuts. Minimum wage should be at least 1 million and above for singles and 2 million above for married, and we can have this conversation. Yes, we should have this conversation. My own problem now is, why should the singles receive differently from the married in your own policy? Why? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Cornelia.
This guy wants to pepper single people. Say single people should receive different, lower than married people. Why? Eh?
Yeah, can you hear me, please?
I can.
Okay. You never come for me, please.
Morning. Morning.
Madam. Yeah, I said this Calabar Lagos road, I call it misplaced priority. Misplaced one. They have started again. And if I say that the approach is a Abura approach, did I make the wrong statement?
I don't know.
This is Abura approach, because if all the whole stakeholders in that project, both the way they are sacking on and the landmark, everybody, all their stories are not coming together. The affected ones are saying they are paying. While government are doing whatever they want to do, they have concluded doing. Rufai said something this morning. He said, why are they in rush over this project? Why this rushing? Is it the only problem we have inside the country now? Madam, farmers are not going to farm.
I thought you were asking me.
Are not working. We never settle this problem. We are going into this. May God bless them all. God bless them on their own doing. Thank you.
All right, I'll read some messages from YouTube now. Ola Dewale, very good morning to you. All the way from ATL, I send my greetings to you too. Retrieving the loots and steals will improve Nigerian economy in my judgment, but who will do the collection? Who can actually collect what? Now question, will Nigeria ever become serious in the problems they are in? Okay, and you're talking about business as usual for looters and so on. I also have yours, you advanced Adam, you say we're never ready. And Ola, you said Ejo Lagos to Calabar Coastal Road. Okay, that one I think is for you, Abiodun, because I can't read this Yoruba. Austin Page Ugbaja, you said, what is the way out for Nigerians? Okay, you're talking generally here. I don't know why Peter Obi has become the problem of this government. Once he gives advice, they become abusive. All right. Adam Solomon, thank you. I just don't understand. We know they won't finish this Lagos Abeokuta Express. It's there for years. Nothing. This road important now. Okay. Emmanuel Osi, they don't want anyone to talk when they are doing wrong things, especially Peter Obi. Wanko Boniface. Dave Umahi is always afraid of Peter Obi and has never been comfortable with his popularity, but I promise him that he's only chasing shadows. Ola, you are asking about where Yahaya Bello, Better Edu and the others are, because you're wondering who's going to collect all these stolen loot. Adugo Christian, you say see headlines, my sister, me myself, I see them. Okay, those from YouTube. Okay, we'll finish some of the ones on WhatsApp, and the number you could also call on WhatsApp is 0817-1756-338. But I have 4 more minutes to go before my guest will be joining us. Franco Neri from the US, you said Landmark invested over $100 million to develop their resort. The government decided to destroy it for bogus project with minimal impact on the people. This APC government should stop wasting public funds to travel in begging for foreign investment while they're busy destroying the already existing investments. May God help and heal our land. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm fine. How are you?
Hello, ma.
I can hear you. Welcome.
Good morning. Well done.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Victor Shego.
Okay. Where are you
In
calling
this
from?
country, to speak the truth, people who attack you, the truth is bitter. For my own contribution, all institutions in this country is corrupt crazy.
So which of the stories made you think this morning?
Concerning what is happening, what you've just read, from A to Z. For example, there is no food in the country. There's no shelter, there's no light, there's no provision. May God help us in Jesus' mighty name, and let country be okay for all of us to live in. Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Have a beautiful day. Good morning, beautiful people in the studio. Good morning to you out there. Happy New Month to you, all good citizens of Nigeria, not the wicked ones like our so-called rulers. To me, I chose not to comment on any issue today because the more we talk, the more they do. Martins Duru, aka Mayor from Ikoto Egbe, but at least you greet and bless us. Thank you very much. I have yours. Good morning, Jude from Majawa. Said the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road is another political strategy to loot the country. This project will never be completed before their tenure runs out. Umahi attacking Peter Obi tells you of what the disintegration agitation will look like. 615,000 naira by NLC is an unrealistic figure. They should be able to consider that the federal government are not finding it funny regardless of their actions towards making the economy work. Thank you very much. I read from Evans, aka Elder General Isheri Oshun. When will Dangote Refinery start dispensing PMS? Let's see whether it can bring down the price of PMS as he did for diesel. Increasing salary without strengthening our economy, it will cause inflation. Right, and Dave Umahi want to please his commanding officer. That's the reason he said what he said, but I want to let him know that PO is the man of the people. An insult to him is an insult to all obedient. We thought it's different, but from what he said about PO, I've come to realize is one of them. Les Dave should apologize. Oh, he said should apologize to all Nigerians. You said Mr. President should buckle up with the affairs of the country instead of moving from country to country looking for investors when insecurity is the order of the day. How can investors come? Prince Iotek from Arena Market. But you know the president must go from country to country. He must look for investors. Is all part of the deal. I think that's why he has people who should be doing the work. If only they will do their work too. All right. We'll be joining our guest shortly, who joins us from Abuja, right? Yes, he will be joining us shortly, and I'll tell you a little more about him while that connection is being made. Let me read a couple more messages. Good morning, Port Harcourt boy. I took your call already. Dave Mahi is afraid of PO. You said he should understand that bad is bad. No matter how you turn it, the coastal project is irrelevant momentarily as hunger is very much in the land. Smiling George from Iliasu Road, and let's take this final one. Okay, all right, I have my guest on the line now. Good morning, Lotana. Good morning. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Great having you this morning. How is Abuja treating all of us? Because I'm there with you in spirit. How is Abuja this morning?
Abuja is good, to the glory of God. We do our
Amen.
best.
All right, cool. All right, let me quickly let everybody, plus myself, know more a little more about Lotana Okoye, who's a successful human capital consultant. He has led many individuals and organizations into a lifestyle of leadership, development, and attitudinal transformation. He's the lead consultant of Honeypot Ideal Services, HIS Nigeria, a human capital development and peak performance company, and is established to address the dearth of quality human resource development in Africa. He is a graduate of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and alumnus of the prestigious Dominion Leadership Institute. He is currently serving as the Director General for the Professional Public Speaking and Leadership Academy, PPSLA, where he drives the formal emergence of the speaking industry in Nigeria with a focus on raising African speakers who can compete globally. It goes on and on because he has come a long way. Right, Dr. Lutana, let's move on. You know, we've been talking about the minimum wage increment. Labor is asking for this cause, for this price. The government is saying this. Some states are, increasing theirs and so on. Based on what we are looking at today, all these monies we are talking about, how do they impact our economy if they do become a reality?
Well, like you already know, that the government determines a whole lot. I listened to the NLC president, and partly one of the things he was saying is that there wasn't any increment in the first place, that they don't understand what all that is all about. And I believe there was going to be there should have been a proper discussion with the NLC, But as whatever it is, my focus is how can we help people become, do I use the word independent now, be able to have food on their table, be able to take care of their kids. I had him listed all the areas he was looking at, transportation, health, and these are very essential things that needs to be provided. The country actually will have a lot ongoing. I think we need to have a priority on our people. There is a priority misbalance somewhere, where we are taking the road more importantly than the people, where we think many other things is more important than the people. So thank you, first of all, for bringing up this. Your station is VOP, Voice of the People. So helping to talk about this, helping to push this. The people is the most important resource anywhere in the world. And I think the government needs to pay a lot of attention on the people. Hear them out. You can see NLC president is saying, we have not agreed on anything. The committee was not set, nothing was going on. So how come you guys went to announce this? So the country actually we need to look at it all over again. The leadership of the country needs to really hear the people out. Things are happening.
Dr. Lotana, the committee had its own proposed, is made up of the private sector, the government, labor, all of them came together to have the session. And the committee had proposed between 60 to 70,000 naira as minimum wage. Rufai in the morning has said that no, for him, from 100K would be a lot better. And they are insisting on 615,000 naira monthly. If you now, standing on the sideline, looking at all this, if you were to give your own suggestion, what do you think will be the figure that would really make it very impactful to the economy and to the people receiving the money themselves?
Of course, you know that every single thing in this country now has gone times, I don't know, let's say times 50 or times 100.
Yeah.
The stuff we used to buy in the market for 6,000 is now sold for 20,000. But I also think our leaders, I don't know if they really attend these markets. I'm trying to get a balance. If they do, then they'll be able to get the reality, understand what the reality looks like. So for me, it has to be 100 above. It has to be something above. It can't be less than that. Because every single commodity in the market has gone times 100. Now, there is another effect that will happen. Even when they add this for the workers, it will still go up because the woman in the market will say, they've increased minimum wage. Let me also increase my own wage. So there is another, we are still waiting. That's another dimension that may happen. I pray it doesn't happen again. Because
it always happens. It always happens. That makes me want to ask, we're just talking about government workers, be it for the federal or the state. What about the people who do not receive these salaries? Because as you just hoped it wouldn't, it definitely would. Because even at the end of the month, when they know that they've paid salaries, things change. Not to talk of the one that once they increase, there is definitely going to be an increment too in the market. So how do we cushion that for people who are not receiving from the government in any form?
Well, for me, I think everybody needs to sit up. For those that don't receive salary from the government, they just need to sit up. And these are the business people, the entrepreneurs. They will need to look inside to, upgrade what they are doing. Money is required by everybody needs money. But the truth is, we also need to use our conscience in doing certain things. And of course, I also think government need to come in to look at prices, price regulation and all of that. In the past 1 month to 2 months, everybody has been fixing their own stuff. Anybody wakes up, tells you dollar tier has just increased, he adds his own. And all these things, have effect on, the common man out there. So survival skills for me is a focus. How can we, whether you are, what do you call it now, civil servant, because if the money you have, your purchasing power is not enough, then it's also affecting your family well-being. So the one in the market selling, if people are not also coming to buy, the way they used to come to buy, you also notice that you are not selling like you used to sell. It's also affecting you. So everybody is affected here. I don't know if I use except the politician, but let me not say that. I hope they are also affected. I'm beginning to study their homes, generally in Abuja to see if they've reduced the number of hours of gen that they use. I don't think it's affecting them. Because whether there is gas or not, they have the gas somewhere. They know how to get their gas, and of course, they use their gen when there is no light. So there is still 24 hours light. Meanwhile, for some other people, they don't even have light for 3 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, and all of that. So Nigerians, especially business people, entrepreneurs, must think about survival skills. How do I expand my customer base? How do I expand my income? How do I generate more income? That is, for me, a major focus that everybody needs to be able to think about, even the civil servants themselves. What am I supposed to be doing from 3 o'clock downward or 4 o'clock downward? What else can I do? What other remote job can I get into? Right? Right from your sitting room, what skills can I learn? Because where we are now, one source of income is not enough. I'm just trying to be very open.
Can I come in a bit there, Doc? Let me come in a bit there. For the civil servants, part of the things they're only allowed to do will be things that have to do with agriculture. That is the rule for civil servants. I was one for so many years. So we're okay. I'm still saying we are. They're allowed to take part in things that have to do with agriculture and food. Any other thing actually may not be very legal for them. So let's maybe segue to that part now. If they were to play around that, let's look at the civil servants. If they were to play with that, what kind of things can they do as second option for income and so on?
Well, you are bringing the civil service rules now. I understand what you are saying. While we are looking at that, we're also looking at reality. So if you want us to stay within that circle, then they need to look at agriculture squarely. But of course, you also know it's not very easy. Agriculture at what level? Is it in packaging? They want to get involved in packaging, or get involved in planting, or get involved. So if that is what they're allowed to do, then we should have a lot of farms everywhere. It means the civil servant will need to start thinking about how to own their own farm, how to find themselves in the value chain, agricultural value chain, where exactly you fit in. If there is a farm proceed that is very popular around you, how can you refine it? How can you, package it very well and start selling, or have that to move into the market and all of that? So it's for them to now go back and do their research. But I can tell you, a lot of them are not comfortable with agriculture alone, a whole lot. And for me...
Yes, please.
And for me, I also believe they have their time after work. the generation where we are now, there are soft skills that can be learned, But if you say we should not go there, we can allow that be. So around agriculture, there is a lot that can be done. A lot. Either you are into processing, you are into packaging, you are into, you are the one promoting and making sure it gets to the end users and all of that. They need to find out what exactly you can do within that setting.
Okay,
but
Doc.
I don't think...
Doc, maybe nobody should get me wrong based on what I said. I was just trying first to stay within that which is legal. You referred to soft skills and so on. And soft skills, you are able to do things online and all that, but knowing human beings, the problem will now be, where do you draw the line so you do not eat into your employer's time? That again may just be one of the challenges. I'll give you a sample of somebody I know. She used to be a director where I worked. She did something that had to do with food and agriculture. What did she do? I think I'll bring her on the program one of these days and I'll let you know when she's coming so you hear her. What she did, she went into food, Gary and all those things, had people who help her package, had something that had to do with bakery, and she was able to organize it and it didn't conflict with her work and all that. Maybe it's the area of conflict of interest. So even if we're saying soft skills and so on, what are those kind of soft skills they could go into that won't be, in quotes, conflict of interest?
The very truth is that every endeavor around even the agriculture takes time and takes your attention. So if we are staying within agriculture, then like I've said, you just talked about somebody that went into packaging. Yes, so it's a nice one. Define a product that is, a process that is very popular in the environment, and see how to process, and see how to package, see how to market. The truth is, everybody that is a civil servant now needs to wake up to look out for solution within that system that they can prefer. They have to look at, to find out what is in existence that is probably not properly processed, not properly preserved, and what can I do about this? Now, is there also a little funds provided anywhere for them to kickstart, for them to do something about some of these things? So these are factors that need to be looked into. If the government don't want civil servants to go into stuff like that, then they need to really, really think about ensuring that their well-being is protected. And they are fine. These people work from morning till afternoon. And sometimes, they are not happy. So I'm coming from the point that they need to be happy. They need to be paid well so that their children can feed well, their family can be fine, and then they can put in all their best to get in the civil service to work. So that's my own line of thought. Agricultural business is perfect. We need a lot of hands and knees, and individuals are, civil servants need to now make a research in line with the area of strength. What can I do? Can I go into farming proper, or do I want to, buy from those already farming and, process, or do I want to go into packaging, or do I want to go into supplies? After somebody has packaged, I pick it up and supply. You must find something you can do. Where we are now is not a place you sit down and just believe things are working. You have to work it. You have to join in making things are working.
All right, cool. If you're listening and you'd like to ask a question or contribute, 0700 903 903 903 is the number. You could call to speak with Dr. Lutana Okoye. Now, Doc, you've really thrown some beautiful light on that one. And I was also thinking, too, for the agri thing and so on, not just for civil servants now, people generally. There is this thing with farming in sacks. For people who do not have big space, there is a way you can have a small farm using sacks, like all these backhoe sacks and all those. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's a good innovation. It's currently ongoing with a lot of families. The little space you have around you, you're able to use that to deal with yam and many other kind of process. So that's fine. It's perfect. The little, your backyard, you buy your wall. Even if you want to take it, you can even turn to your flower. It doesn't matter. Where we are now, we are not just looking at beautification. We're looking at, something that brings solution. So all around your wall, all around the backside and all of that, you can go ahead and do that. Of recent, we found that can even work much better. So we can go ahead and do that. Civil servants, and a training system can actually run within the civil service to ensure that they learn that little skill and make sure people can implement it. You know.
Okay,
so
Doc, just
government need to go.
Finish your thoughts.
Okay.
Government needs to, because I'd wanted us to take this call, but you have to hold on a while for us to take this call, and I'll feed you back. Okay, just hold on, Doc. Hello? Hello?
Yes, Cordelia, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm okay. My name's Prince Akwachi, calling from the beautiful city of California. You know, beautiful state of California.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so what do you have for Dr. Lotana? He's on hold, trying listening.
Yes. For Dr. Lotana, my question is this. I don't know why Nigeria, they cannot implement the hourly system. You know, what do I mean by the hourly system? Meaning, let people be paid by the hours that they work. Because when we talk about, civil servants, remember that there are some people whose office is about, the commute time to the office takes about an hour or two for them to get to the office. And then, they stay there till 3 o'clock. By the time you add the commute hour, you commute the hour that they spend in the office, you see that, it's not very realistic in the sense that it doesn't make no sense. Okay? But if it's hourly, at least the person will know, okay, I got 8 hours to do, and I do the 8 hours,
Okay.
And then probably go to somewhere else and work. Okay. But you see, Nigeria, they keep sticking to this, this wage, at the month end, they pay them, I call it stipend.
Okay.
Even private workers.
All right, let Lotana answer now. Thank you so much, and enjoy Cali this morning.
Cali this morning is beautiful. Actually,
the idea is not in any way bad one.
Oh, okay. I thought he can't hear Lotana, right? Can they hear themselves? Okay, he can hear now. Oh, sorry, my colleague, bro. We had to do that so that you can hear Lotana now. It's based on the tech thing. You heard what he said, Lotana. Please react.
Yeah, I said the idea is not any bad. It's not bad at all. In the civilized society, these things happen. It's part of the idea that may have to be considered because, just like he said, you're on the road all through in like 2 hours getting to work, especially people in Lagos, and of course coming back again the same way, and you're almost not doing nothing, in between. So it's not really completely bad. It may have to be considered so that people can really also tax their mind. Sometimes when you also get to this office, you notice that people that are supposed to be working are not also working. So the government can also save money from there and actually pay only those that come to work and work within the hour, pay them within the hour they worked. So it's not anything bad at all. It's a good innovation that may need to be, sent to the president of the, NLC, and of course discuss within their system. I think it's a good one.
Okay. All right.
A lot of servants who don't work. They get to work, they sign, and they leave. Or they go sit down somewhere pressing phone. So you have to be productive within the hours you are there, and then you are paid for that.
Okay, if you want to call us, please do WhatsApp call only, 0817-175-6338. WhatsApp call only, 0817-175-6338. And you've responded to the one about hourly pay and hourly work. And I like that one too. If only we could implement it, it would go a long way. Now, we've talked about people who receive monthly salaries and so on. What about people who have small-scale businesses? How do they survive? What could you tell them? Because when they do implement this new salary rates that we're asking for, it's going to affect everything. It will affect small businesses too. What do you suggest to such people?
Yeah, so for me, that's where your skill now need to come alive. Business now is no longer business as usual, where you just open your shop or open a business and you sit down and wait for people. Wherever people go, money go. And what you need from people is to come and patronize you. So small-scale business owners now need to sharpen their skills, their communication skills, their relational skills, for example, because if your customer keep reducing, your income reduces also. So you need to think about the steps you must take. Now, one of the areas I need us to look into is that we as entrepreneurs are people that are into business must learn to wake up to think about the progress of their businesses. You have to think it through. You don't just put it on God. You don't just put it on government. You don't just put it on anybody. You take full responsibility to see that this stuff grows. And the question is, this month that just went by, how many customers did I get? How many of them came back? How many am I expecting this new month? All of that. You need to process this thought in your mind. You need to also look at your services, how innovation can come in. What can I do to reach out to more people? We're in the world of internet. Are you talking about your business? Are you keeping quiet? Are you just believing God? Are you just praying about it? You talk to God and talk to man. What is the way, what method are you going to use to talk to a larger scale or a larger number of people about what you are doing? You have the internet. Some people just press WhatsApp and that's all. They don't do anything with it. They don't send broadcasts. They don't, remind people of their businesses. They don't send pictures of what they do. No, you have to be innovative this time. You need to know that things have changed and sit up. Think about your business, read about your business, find people that have gone to the next level in the same line of business, associate with them to know more. You will need to associate this time around. It's not just you on yourself, on your own alone. You need to associate. You need to move around. You need to attend trainings. You need to expand your mind. There is a component of your belief system in what you are doing. If it must go mega, you have to believe that this thing have to will move on to the next level. And then with that mindset, you begin to find a practical action that is associated. There are two types of environment. One is your internal environment, and of course your external. Your internal must be stronger. The concept of faith is so important at this point. Where we are now is not what you just do by mouth saying. You have to know where you are going and then look at that business and find strategies. Reach out to people, network with people. If you have to find an organization that has a large number of people that you believe they have what it takes to patronize you, kindly join. A godly one. I don't mean any wrong association, because
you have
people
to tie
now
red and black clothes every night to join.
No,
not that type of people.
Please, I'm not part of that one. I'm talking about certain good organizations. I don't want to mention anyone, but of course, people know what they do. Down to joining your parapo, your own village, community, state meetings. Yes, because prosperity goes round, wealth, money goes round.
Okay, you know what, Dr. Lotana, I'm feeling like I'm in class already. I'm feeling the vibe already. So I think if you won't mind, we're going to have a second session. If you don't mind, we'll have a second session because time is up for today. And that second session, you see all these things you've been saying, it has been entering my spirit. And I'm sure a lot of people listening too are paying rapt attention. So I'd request that same time next week, all things being equal, we'll check your schedule too. We can now go into this part of it. Just give us a little session on this to help. Would you mind doing that? Is that fine?
Very available, very available.
Unlike Davido, you are available. I like that. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right, so we'll be talking with Dr. Lotana Okoye again next week, and this time he will walk us through some form of mentorship, especially those who do not receive monthly salaries, how we can grow that small business so we will not be crying every month. Have a beautiful day, Doc, and again I say thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. 90.3 FM, VOP, Voice of the People. We're here especially for you, and anything that will make your life better is what we've come here to do. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. We started at 7 a.m. I'll be back tomorrow again, 7 a.m. I thank you for all your messages and your kind words. Alex, I see yours. Thank you very much. I'm Cordelia Obe, and my guys are already in the house. They'll be taking over and moving over to my Otutu area where everything is Oma. How na day now? Good morning.
Good morning.
You're not trek today, Abby? Which will be your mic? Number five. That yesterday, if you see, I wish I take your picture yesterday. Hi. You were upset.
I was so angry that yesterday. It was not funny.
It wasn't. It wasn't. But today will be better.
But they said in the next 50 days they are supplying us fuel.
I beg. Now beg with the beg.
To ease the stress Nigerians are passing through now.
Yes. I'm looking forward to you maybe becoming commissioner. That your question yesterday was on point.
Yeah. One day. That's my, it's a gradual process.
All right. Both of you have a good show, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. I'm Cordelia Obe.